Up? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Covering all the time zones.
You nailed it.
Should we give everyone a minute to jump in?
Yeah, should we do a announcement at everybody?
Yeah, that's a great idea. All right, should we jump in? How's it going out there, guys? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, good. How are you doing, Charlie? How's the flight and everything back from Miami come back?
It was good. Um, it was pretty sweet down there. I think.
The
I
weather
think it.
looked perfect on launch day.
Yeah, it was like beautiful, sunny, not too windy. We had our new launch setup. Uh, these like mobile tripod launch units that we could, they're multi-directional. We could point them straight into the wind. Um, I
Will we
think,
see those going forward?
I think so. That's actually it's like the second version. Tom and I, or Tom's been developing like a prototype miniature one. We've been developing like I don't know what you would call it, like a bug out bag, grab bag version. So like a one of those like the large fanny pack that with everything you could need for a launch all in one thing. And those have like a pretty cool little miniature tripod. But the ball joint, like the ball head, is the real innovation because the wind, like adjusting for the wind, is always difficult. But not a single rocket was lost in the last launch. I think only one wound up in a tree. So definitely an improvement.
How's your hand doing after that?
I think it's infected.
Oh,
Minor infection, but worth it. But it was a great event. I think we had a bunch of people from the community show up in Miami, and a lot of people got to launch their rocket. A couple people launched like multiple rockets, and yeah, it was great. Flamingo Field. It was a fantastic little venue. We had tacos and a shaved ice truck and an awesome DJ the whole time. It was really fun. I think it probably is my favorite launch yet.
I'll just add there were a lot of uh positive feedback comments. The Instagram chat about the DJ. Everybody really liked that he's been in.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was like a local guy down in Miami, and he was really. He wasn't quite. I don't think he really knew what he was showing up for when he showed up, but he was like really he was really into it by the time we got going and everything. But I think he was like you know like everyone is. They're like, oh, you guys are launching rockets, holy shit. But he was a blast. It was really fun. Good music too. And that's hard too. It's like 5 hours of solid music. But yeah, on to the next one. Thank you, Miami.
That was a great launch to watch from Instagram Live and stuff too. You couldn't be there. It looked awesome.
Cool. Yeah, I like the baseball diamond format. I think was really fun, and like it was the ideal launch like location. There were no trees or anything, and it was just really smooth. It was like uh much less stressful than other launches we've done in the past because there were fewer obstacles.
Yeah, I think
we
we've
all
landed on a good formula.
Yeah.
And I think it was fun for the community too, because it was like a lot easier to be able to attend and participate and watch and kind of have a good time.
Yeah, it was perfect. There were like bleachers set up so people could chill and like eat their taco, but then also like there were a bunch of kids there that were all running around in the outfield catching rockets. It was awesome. Really, really fun. So thank you guys.
All right, I think 160's having some issues with audio, so Jacob, you want to go ahead and lead the discussion today?
Yeah, sure. Let me grab some of these questions here, and we'll start with our Carlin ISRU's question. For someone like me who does not have any rocket pieces or one of the um, test flight crew patches, will there be an opportunity to mint Mars rocks in Phase 2? And I think that's a question more about the public mint from the white paper. And then, while currently a rumor, any word on stowaways that could ride to Mars?
Awesome question. Yeah. So in the white paper, we did say there is going to be a public component to the minting process, which will occur here on Earth and not on Mars. And so, yeah, there is an opportunity for people who haven't been able to get involved to this point to get involved with Phase 2. Absolutely. And then, officially, I don't think I don't know. I don't know if stowaways. It seems like an unsanctioned thing, but I think people always find a way. But yes, I think stowaways.
And never say never.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's room for some stowaways on the mothership if we're talking like hypothetically. But yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Good answer. All right, we've got one from our resident uncle Steve PJ Cruiser. Question: have all physical rockets been recovered? Specifically asking about the one stuck in a tree at the Budweiser.
Yeah, as far as I know, that was recovered and we received like a pretty extensive report on it. We're trying to get it back to the studio, but that was definitely collected. It was pretty funny. Like the facilities people from Budweiser went back and the rocket was missing. But then it turned out someone had gone back in the middle of the night and recovered it, which was like pretty incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, community member who then sent in a very extensive report on the condition of the rocket. So we're just in getting it from the community member safely to the owner.
Very cool. So does that keep us at Sigma 7?
Maybe 8.
Oh wow.
We're breaking new ground.
As the rocket factory is known to do.
Yep.
All
But
right, we've
yeah.
Yeah, I would say Paris got like the hairiest
Uh-huh.
situation we've been in was definitely Paris, but the commitment there from community was just like incredible. Robin Buchholz, who actually showed up in Miami and did a lot of the launch recovery rockets. I mean, he like I don't know if you guys saw that entire like montage he put together on Instagram, but he like went out there after having swam in the Seine River to retrieve rockets. He also went out there and beat the firefighters there and got rockets out of trees um with like a whole thing that he built. So I think the community showing up and rescuing rockets has been kind of one of the most moving parts of this whole thing. Like how committed other people are to make sure these, like, I mean, they are like works of art, end up in the owner's possession. Pretty incredible.
That is great. A great community to have. And speaking of our community, do we have anybody in the audience that would like to raise their hand and be brought up to stage to ask their question?
And in the meanwhile, I still wanted to say congratulations for the first ever lot on the first ever on-chain Christie's auction, which is, I think, a pretty historic feat. I don't think that should go unnoticed. I guess most of the people here know it, but it's a pretty big deal, I think.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. It really was. For those who don't know, Christie's is one of the oldest like traditional art world auction houses that there are, and they've been doing a lot of NFT auctions. But one of the biggest criticisms has been that those auctions were still taking place in a really traditional manner. Like I could call in and give my bid and say how much ETH I wanted, but to like bid on, but the transaction would take sometimes a couple of weeks before it could be reflected on chain. So making it still very much a traditional format, but kind of showing the commitment of like maybe this bridge over from the traditional art world when Christie's told us that they had struck a partnership with OpenSea to do the first ever fully on-chain auction by Christie's. We felt like we had to say we were in. For us, it's about creating those bridges between these two communities that are kind of like the really important moments. So being able to be a part of that monumental kind of like auction was really special. And we're really happy to see that, Miami Vice, I think it's going to a really good home. And the person who won the bid, they were like working actively off of their computer in Miami Beach. And as soon as, they got the winning bid, they actually like drove over to the field, and the team all stayed there until this person arrived and launched Miami Vice with them there.
So cool. And also, if anyone has not seen Through the Night Softly by Chris Burden, which is what the rocket was named after, I highly recommend looking it up on YouTube. There's like 4 or 5 more commercials that he did, and they're all really great. Just look for Chris Burden commercials on YouTube.
Yeah, really great shout. That's one of like Tom's favorite names that he picked.
It's awesome. I think we also got Cool Cat on stage. Cool Cat, if you want to ask a question, go ahead.
Yeah, hey guys. Didn't make it to Miami, but it was really fun watching all the actions on Instagram. So thanks for live streaming that for everyone. We were all chatting about it. It was fun. I had a question about the Franken rocket paintings that were on sale with Aquavella. Did those sell? Did any of them sell?
They did. They actually did really, really well. And I think it's really cool that you bring up the paintings. I think we should definitely also discuss them with Tom, but I could kind of share a little bit of the origin of how they've been coming about. I think that there's been a lot of what Tom has seen of a lot of traditional art being sometimes turned into NFTs. Like, here's a traditional art thing. I'm going to make an NFT out of it. And for Tom, I think what felt really interesting was, can we take existing NFTs and turn them into traditional artworks? So the Franken paintings that you referenced, Cool Cat, or any of the paintings that were there were always a reflection of an NFT that already is in existence. So I think kind of creating this like little bit of a bridge back of showing how these different mediums and spaces really talk to each other, and seeing them so well received by the traditional art world in a lot of ways, I think spread more awareness about this project in that space. And it was actually a lot of the bidding that happened on the Christie's and OpenSea auction came out of the traditional art world. And I think that being able to have NFTs represented not just on OpenSea or in these traditional NFT spaces, but also having kind of a vehicle for being able to talk about this project like at Art Basel proper, kind of like the most gatekeeper of the art world, and having them starting to have discussions, not just about the Rocket Factory, but about NFTs in general, is something that we're really like happy with how that went down in Miami. And we're looking forward to continuing those kinds of bridges.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. I saw some close-up photos of them, and they were just super impressive. It was such a fun way to see our rockets in a different medium. So yeah, thanks for that.
Of course, thank you for asking. I think like in some ways those maybe got like overlooked. We haven't really had as much attention on them, but yeah, they were so well received, and I think really gave a little extra push to not just the auction, but hopefully the continued energy around this project.
Do you know off the top of your head, Aram, which rockets they were that were paintings of? Um, there were two, right?
Yeah, some of the ones that there was a bird in hand was one. I think it was one of the more rare Frankens that has like a Wonder Bread tail, USPS body, and a WD-40 nose cone. Then there was Dawn of Man, which I feel like is one of my faves. It's the McDonald's Chanel, like totally like crazy over the top with the birdie sticker. Um, I think that was like one of the first like really iconic Frankens too. I remember when that one was being made, people were like, "Oh my god, people are really gonna like go for it and take like some really rare pieces, like ones with even stickers on them, and turn them into Frankens." And I think it really like was one of those Franken rockets that like really led to a shift in how people were thinking about assembly.
I was really happy to see them see the paintings of Franken rockets in particular. I'm on Team Franken rocket myself.
Yeah, Charlie and I are like slightly biased towards that as well. But I mean, with that said, I mean, getting a perfect together, I like hats off
No,
to
totally,
people who are
totally.
able to do that.
Both of their merits. That's true.
Yeah.
We got a question from Crunch. He said that he didn't see his rocket launch in the Instagram video. His rocket was 71 solar flare, and he's just double checking to see if it was launched. It's 71 on the list.
Yes, it was definitely launched. We launched every rocket, and everyone has been accounted for. Maybe it was like our feed kept coming in and out, especially towards the end, but we absolutely launched it.
Yeah, it seemed like there's a small section from the like Instagram recaps that's missing, with a few rockets.
Yeah, I think that it got a little bit like the signal got not so great towards the end specifically, but we had somebody that was dedicated just solely to capturing the clips. So even if you didn't see some portion of your rocket launch on Instagram, like fear not, there was somebody whose job was just dedicated to capturing the clips. So there's definitely still a clip of your launch.
All right, that's good to know.
I think we can bring our Cool Cat. Do you have another question? I think we'd like to bring the next audience up.
Nope, that was it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just sent Anders a request to come on stage. Scott Bande.
Anders?
Oh, I can't get Discord to work. Here we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Perfect. Thank you so much for this Friday's launch. My rocket was launched in Miami. Landmark felt epic, and it landed. Had a perfect landing in the center field. So that's very good work there with the wind and everything.
Was yours the one that landed SpaceX style?
Oh, I don't know.
There was one that landed completely upright and like
I think
Oh,
that was
solidly.
my friend Isaac's rocket, Teenage Waste.
Okay. Yeah, that was pretty
okay.
insane. But I guess like you launch enough rockets, eventually one of them's gonna land like perfectly. But it was
Yeah,
totally SpaceX.
wow, yeah. That's too much to ask. But no, it landed in center field at least, and everything. That was nice. So my question, and I saw someone write it down also in the chat, but Tom got hurt, injured in some way. Was that during his run, or did something else occur?
Yeah, I think it was during the second batch of rockets, like we were launching kind of 25 at a time. We decided to have a race around the baseball diamond. And I think it was like we didn't really stretch, and so I think he just like, pulled a muscle or something.
Something broke.
Yeah, he was we were going way too hard on the race. But
And you were also injured. Was it with the tree climbing?
yeah, I got caught up on there was like a chain link fence that got me.
Oh yeah.
But
So I guess I only made one Purple Heart medal, but I sent it to the studio, and you can share it. Okay?
yeah, we'll share it.
Yeah, I thought it was a perfect thing. Really, you did your duty, and you got caught up and hurt, and you should have a Purple Heart. So I will send it to you.
Incredible. Thank you. Yeah, it was all worth it. It was all in good fun.
Of course, of course.
You got to commit fully.
Yeah, it's worth it. Heal well. Another question, short one. In the blockchain, you will get the video in with the launch, right?
Yes.
Yes. Will you add the dedication? Because Tom said some words before it to me in the camera. Will you add
Okay.
that too? Could you?
It all depends. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's definitely possible. Each one of the videos when we've been editing is different based on like uh the contents of the video. Like if it was an interesting recovery or if something gets stuck in a tree, sometimes those things wind up in the video. But I'll definitely keep an
Okay.
eye out when we get to landmark.
Yeah. Keep landmark in. Yeah, that would make me so happy. Thank you.
Cool. And if you guys,
Thanks.
if thank you, Anders. But landmark also I think is worth mentioning. If people in the chat don't know what the landmark is in reference to, there's a diner on the corner where the studio is, and it's kind of everyone's second home. This restaurant. It was one of the clues when we did the scavenger hunt was you had to go and speak with Fatima, who's the lead server in the restaurant, and it's just a great place if you're ever in New York City to definitely go and get some breakfast or something at Landmark.
One day I need to
One,
go there. And there is
I,
actually a landmark sticker at Landmark now. Benji helped me to get it there.
awesome. Cool. Thanks, Anders.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Seth BA, brought you back up.
Hey, how's it going? Are you guys able to hear me?
Hey, yep, we can hear you. How's it going?
Oh, great, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't able to make it. I was totally supposed to get down there, but I'd just gotten back from a trip from California, and I left 3 kids at home. So my wife's like, "You can go," and my kids were like, "Nope, we're not going anywhere." But yeah, I also was busy during the time it was happening, so I didn't get to see any of the videos. I feel like I missed out on so much, but I was just excited to know that my rocket was launching, and super cool to hear that none were lost and that you guys have. It sounds like there wasn't as much excitement because the layout of the setup was so clean and there wasn't a lot of stuff in the way. But I'm just excited to be part of this project since the beginning. I had one of the Campbell's rockets, one of the Perfect Campbell's rockets. It looks like there was about 3 or 4 um, Perfect Campbell's launched that day, which has got to be the most for a single day for a perfect type. But yeah, I just wanted. I was originally going to confirm that my rocket was launched, which I don't know if it's necessary because it seems like everyone who put in the contract or filled all that out, their rocket was launched. But mine was called 7 of 9, um, and I look forward to seeing the video from that. And yeah, and all the next steps in this project are super exciting, and I'm just excited to be part of it.
Cool, thank you. It was definitely still exciting, but I hear you. But I can see your rocket. It was the 44th rocket that we launched, 7 of 9, perfect Campbell's.
For sure, that's awesome. Yeah, I was when I got the Campbell's, I was wondering if you guys were gonna do, like a Campbell's specific, like where Campbell's is located or anything like that. But I also wanted to get the launch kind of out of the way um, sooner than later. More just because of my own uh, excitement of knowing that it was launched and whatnot, not for any benefits or anything, but just I don't know. I grew up launching rockets just like these. Obviously, a lot of people did, but um, I have 3 kids, and I can't wait to have that rocket in the house and then have them start asking questions and then start launching our own rockets as they get a little bit older. They're pretty young right now, but um, just having them be able to look at it and know that, and then be able to further explain, Tom Sachs and the art world to them. It'll be a nice piece to have around, as a conversation piece and just a catalyst for me to engage with my kids over the space.
Awesome. Yeah, it's what it's all about. Like, and launching rockets is something that a lot of the community is like relates to because it's a lot of us have had it as part of our lives for a long time, and so it's cool to bring everyone together around that.
For sure. And I gotta say that um, the one you guys did in Germany, there's a few of us in here that are part of a community, and we had that stream going all day long. It's an NFT community, and we were streaming other stuff, but the vast majority of people were just stuck on it for the most of the day, and it was, it was like beyond like a level of commitment to the art that I was so impressed by and entertained by at the same time.
The space program, yeah?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That is the most endurance work that the studio does.
Yeah,
It
we
is
couldn't we couldn't believe like the dedication that was happening there. That was amazing. I was like,
it's like
that's performance right there.
that's incredible. Thank you. Thank you for tuning into that live. That was totally, hearing that people really enjoyed it. That's really great to hear.
And I'm even like the dedication of some of those people sitting there and just being fully immersed in it. The audience members, I was like, that is it's just a performance to watch. That is just so cool, especially being on stream and knowing you were there. Uh, it was really cool. But yeah, I'll
Thanks.
step down. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thank you. And we will be making a return if all goes well to Germany in April for a closing demonstration as well for those of you who maybe missed the first round.
Awesome.
Super exciting.
Thank you. So we've got one question from the audience, and then or one question from the chat, and then I'll bring someone else up from the audience. But The chat question is there an approximate number of launches left before phase 2? And they want to finish a rocket for their son, but would like for their son to launch in person.
So I think we kind of got into this a lot last time as well. We are working on one more kind of big launch opportunity for people who really feel like they got to get their rocket in before phase 2 announcements. For those who are not as tied to needing their rocket launched before phase 2, there will be some other opportunities. Once again, if COVID in the world allows, in Asia and kind of back to North America, potentially something in Europe, through up through May of next year. But for those really committed to having theirs launched before our phase 2 announcements in February, we're working on one more big endurance launch, and trying to get the details of that out to you guys sooner than later, especially for those of you who really want to attend. I can say it will definitely be in North America. And we want to make it very much more like the way Miami was. So something that could be all day and all ages. Charlie, I don't know if you'd add anything else to that.
No, I think the format for Miami like worked really well, and I think it's something we should keep striving for. I think it was like the most, I think, engaging for the community. We had so much time to like in between. We had a few of those intermissions. It was really awesome to kind of get in the mix with everyone. And so I think shooting for that, if we could replicate that again and again and again, I think it would be awesome. But I think
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that other major launch that we're working on would be the one to bet on before phase 2.
And I mean, I think we kind of have, if I'm being upfront, some ideas of places we want to have them, because I think, as we've said, some locations to do something even as simple as a rocket launch, sometimes permitting and stuff takes months. The types of processes we would have had to start in like August, right when the project was still fledgling. So we're looking at locations like the southwest of the United States right now, where it might be some good weather in the month of January. But if people want to throw some suggestions in the chat, please do. I can't make any promises. We really want to go somewhere that's going to make it easy and successful for everyone involved, but definitely happy to take some suggestions. Like, we definitely are not going to be able to pull off like LA again, knowing what that took to get one rocket off the ground. But if you've got some suggestions and you want us to take them in for consideration, please drop them in the chat.
Cool. We also have Black Sheep on stage.
Hey. Hi,
Go
how
ahead.
y'all doing? I would recommend the Bay Area. San Francisco is known for having no red tape in the city, so you could just land and launch one anywhere. I promise you that. So definitely come on out this way. I launched my Sweet and Low Draw the Venom out, and a few questions. Is there anything I need to do now that it's launched? I mean, I don't think I didn't look this morning, but I don't have the fire tail yet. What do I need to do, if anything?
Can you just check draw the venom out?
Yeah, Sweet and Low.
I think. Let me just check.
So if you're talking about OpenSea, you might want to just refresh the metadata on it.
Okay. I didn't try it this morning. I tried it the other day. Nothing happened, but I'll try it again.
Yeah, I see a flame on that one on OpenSea right now.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Same here.
I apologize. Like I said, I didn't check yet. I apologize.
I wouldn't, it's thank you for bringing it up though. Anyway, always appreciate it when questions like that pop up. But yeah, for this launch, all of the flames would have been added like right at 5 o'clock to guarantee that all the rockets that were launched would have flames.
Awesome. And then
Yep.
just some feedback. I'm not on Instagram, so is there a way to watch that? I just have an issue with that social place, so I didn't want to join it, but I've seen other ones on Twitter Spaces, etc. But I couldn't watch the launches, and I tried replaying. I couldn't see, so I was a little bummed. And lastly, how many were night launches? I saw a night launch, and that looked awesome. Were there many night launches? And then I'll just step aside. Thank you for your time.
Cool. So we went, we have done the live streams from Twitter Spaces and on Instagram, and what we found and like our feedback from the community was that the quality was so much better on Instagram Live. So we've kind of decided to go with that platform. As far as like having to be a member of Instagram or have an account and everything, I'm not quite sure of. I would imagine there's a way to go to view it as like the recap video, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think going forward, we're going to continue to stick with the Instagram live just because the quality seems to be like way superior to the Twitter Spaces. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any way to watch it without joining. And if somebody knows that there is, let me know. But yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But it is what it is, man. I hear you. If it's better for the community, it's cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't see a way to do that, but I think something that we could potentially look at is we do have a download usually of the video of the lives. So, something we could look at is if we drop it onto YouTube or find a way to drop that file so if people want to watch it without giving their data over to Meta.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's it.
that is also an option. But if you want to see it live, unfortunately, like it just being kind of like the option that's worked the best as far as going live will continue to be live from there. But as far as the video file afterwards, and if we could post it on another platform, that's something that we could investigate.
That'd be awesome. Thank you for considering that.
Yeah, I don't know how that works with the data files that big. Like if we need to put them onto something like YouTube or something where it's just a link versus you dropping the entire file there cuz like Miami that was like 5 hours of footage. Don't want to slow the server down too much.
Oh, we'll look into it.
Cool. Sounds great.
Also, I wanted to mention that I saw a picture of our community member. I'm not sure if he's in the chat right now, but Ray Duxon. He was promoted to ISRU equipment captain. Can you maybe talk a little bit about that? What Ray did and how he was able to help out?
Definitely. So Ray is he's an awesome guy in the community who he's a wear tester and he participated pretty heavily in ISRU and he's come to a bunch of the launches. And on 2 instances now, so the first was in St. Louis, we were having issues with our launch controller and like we asked anyone in the audience if they had an extra launch controller, which is like the most random possible thing that you could have with you, and he had one with him. And so it's like the battery controlled you push the button and it makes the rocket launch, and so he really saved us there. And so that was like the first instance. And then in Miami, there was one of the rockets where we didn't have a parachute for one of the rockets, and of course Ray had an extra parachute that he ISRU'd together and hooked up on the rocket. So I think those 2 things definitely qualified him for that promotion, and it just seems like he's definitely the guy to count on to always be prepared. So thank you, Ray. And
Yeah,
if you
that's
didn't,
been.
sorry.
No, go ahead, Charlie.
He also, yeah, if you follow him on Instagram, he created like all-in-one launch kit in a Halliburton suitcase, which is like amazing and awesome. And he was launching some rockets during the intermissions at the launch in Miami, and so he's definitely fully committed, and he's the guy to go to if you ever need rocket parts in a pinch.
Yeah, it's really cool to see the different parts of this community come out and come together. You know, we've got those of us, I'm more like that, who are much more committed, maybe just to being on computers. And then we've got folks like Ray who are really hands on and really understand that side of the project as well. So it's really great to see how these different parts of the community come together to bring this project to life. Um, we were gonna wrap on that for today, I think, guys. Um, Thank you for all of your questions and for tuning in today. The one thing that I just want to remind everyone is if you haven't yet, make sure to participate in the poll for when we should start holding the weekly AMAs. Charlie and I will be here with the mods for you every week. And once we have a fixed time picked, we'll also make sure that when there's big moments that Tom is also in here with us weighing in, and we'll definitely always announce ahead of time when Tom will be joining as well.
It's a pinned
just-
post in the AMA chat channel, so you can just look there, and it's a post by Marshard Overshoe.
And he made it really easy. You just have to respond with an emoji, and your vote will count.
All right, thank you so much, team, for joining us again this week. We really appreciate all the feedback and stuff from Miami and all the good talk about stowaways for phase 2.
Yeah,
Yep.
and thank you guys. Charlie and I are in it thick with phase 2, and we can't wait to start bringing some updates for you guys going into this new year. And also working hard on our metaverse headquarters and some more surprises for our merch store. So stay tuned. This is really a month of putting in some legwork on our side on the back end. We are working hard, and we cannot wait to bring all of these new things to you guys in the new year.
Exciting. Thank you, guys.
Thanks
We'll
all.
talk
Thank
next
you.
week.
Yeah, talk to you guys next week.
Awesome. Thanks
See ya.
again. Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.